Hands, are we the baddies?
Hello everyone, and welcome to Bob Plays Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts on Legendary difficulty. I'm Bobtheorc. This is episode 27. The baddies are back. Sorry I had to take a sabbatical from gaming for a while. I had a lot more work than I anticipated, and it required my utmost focus. But I survived the holidays. Thank you, Cawthon. Survived through the holidays, and here we are. I still have plenty of work to do, but it's eased off back to more normal levels now. So let's go be baddies and try and conquer the world. And I really want to get into another war, but we're having some issues with that because these guys just don't want to fight. Not quite sure what we're going to do about that. I guess we're just going to keep causing trouble. I mean, it looks like the Chinese are more likely to pick a fight with us, but every time we try to go to war with them, they give us money and piss off. So this is going to be a little challenging. So I guess we're just gonna YOLO a turn and see what happens. I don't know how long I'm going to play tonight. I'm feeling a little bit rough. Had a rough day yesterday, actually. Mike broke down. I had to go drive to Oklahoma City and help him get home, and on the same day that our server deployment went live, so all this craziness was going on, and then some crackheads tried to mug me while I was gassing up my car, and I had to have a constitutional conversation with them about the Second Amendment, and they decided to be crackheads somewhere else. It was a very long day, full of craziness. Pro tip: don't gas up by yourself in the dark parking lot, or in the dark gas station. Drive the extra little bit to go to the 7-Eleven that's 24/7 and lit up, even if the gas is more expensive. That is the lesson that I learned. So anyway, let's see what we got going on here. I think we're refitting ships, if I remember. We're pissing off the Soviets. And the Soviets are really, really angry at the Chinese, and they're all at war fighting each other. And I guess I'm just going to keep pissing them both off, and hopefully I can get one of them to bite. And then as far as my ships go, let's see what we have here. That's right, we got these new Jaegers. These are spiffy. And we'll refit a few more of these. Those Jaegers will lead my little fleet of destroyers. What do we have here? Yeah, these guys are still commissioning destroyers. Then we'll have to upgrade those. Jaegers are all getting built. Got some time for that. So things are coming along all right. Hopefully we'll have the Jaegers ready before we get into a big fight. At some point we'll upgrade our Marauders. These Marauders are really nice. Got the Coincidence Rangefinder 4s. I mean, the Marauders are still just really, really good. Alright, well, we're not conquering anything. We got this military conflict here, Palestine versus Egypt, and I don't care about either of those. There's not really anything I can do until guess we'll just kind of chill out. Well, this is awfully boring, isn't it? Alright, so Soviets are going to take Eastern India, which means I can take it from them later. That'll be nice. Let's go piss off the Soviets now. We're just going to keep on pissing people off. And can I upgrade these destroyers yet? When you have just this many ships, then everything starts to kind of slow down a little bit. No, I think we gotta wait a little bit. So these old ships, we can delete that. Doop. Yes, we just have our newest designs. Alright, I guess there's nothing we can do yet. Are we maxed out on everything? Yeah, we're basically maxed out on everything. I can beef up the crew training a little bit. There we go, 69%. That seems optimal. The problem is, as we piss off the Chinese, the Russians like us more. And as we piss off the Russians, the Chinese like us more. That's going to be a little tricky. Well, yeah, so we're pissing off the Russians there, so the Chinese like us more. It's just a back and forth. Sure, we'll sell you one of those. No, we'll not sell you one of those. So both of them hate me now, at least dislike me a little bit. That's something. Let's see if we can refit some of these destroyers yet. Yeah, it's not going to be all that exciting if we don't have any war going on. No. I guess these were these just the Jaegers that I was commissioning? That might be what it was. Let's double check. I guess, I don't know what that was. I guess there's nothing I can do until these guys get ready. Well, 9 more turns we'll have those ships out. Then we'll start parking them places that make people angry at us. On rest of 9, that's not awful. And I'm not sure if there's any more coastal places I can colonize either, because I think I've grabbed everything. I've got my ships, you know, all here and stuff. Then the Canadians don't like me. They don't hate me either. Maybe we can get some of that going. Let's keep beefing up our crew training, our crew pool. What are we at? We're at cadets. Yeah, that's all right. So I guess we're just gonna wait till the Jaegers are ready, and then we'll start being aggressive. Oh well, slowly but surely. We get more money, but we don't need that. That'd be alright too. Let's just lower unrest, because we have oodles of money. And then we'll have a new Jaeger design. We'll be able to upgrade once the Jaegers are built. I really want to get the double turrets for light cruisers. That's some ways away, isn't it? Oh, slowly but surely. Yeah, this is the problem. A lot of the delay in just blasting through the game comes in the late game when you've gotten pretty much everybody. Here we go. This will piss everybody off. We got southern Egypt. Do we have anybody out here hanging out? We got these guys hanging out. Just keep jacking that up. Do we have any unupgraded ships? I think we're solid on all of them. Just double check one more time. Our troop transports are good. Or transport capacity, so that's in good shape. Yeah, other than the torpedo boats, which you don't really care about, we're golden. I could start upgrading Marauders. That would be a possibility. But 2 more turns we get whatever this is. Post 2D stabilization. Well, that's pretty cool. Full oil burners, yeah, we need that. So yeah, so we're gonna really be in good shape soon. Don't care about 16-inch guns. Gun layout. That doesn't do me any good either. So really 2 turns, and then advanced armored citadel. I don't think I need that for the Marauders. I mean, that would be nice, but I don't think I need that. Uh-oh, I think I... Uh-oh, what did I do? There we go, I accidentally bumped my mouse speed thing and it got all weird. So yeah, I mean, realistically 2 turns is fine. We could go for that, but I just don't think we need that. Alright, so increase some more tension. Got those full oil burners, which is nice. And then let's go piss off the Chinese some more. Let's also make sure our fleets are all of our ships are on sea control. We don't want any of this in-being nonsense. There we go. So we set it that way, and now even the ones that aren't built yet will be sea control. Alright, so here we go. Let's we got that. Serbia, you're not going to do anything. You would think that I could get my army off its butt and maybe, oh, I don't know, attack some of these neutral countries, maybe? Just a thought. I wouldn't mind if the army did something. Wink, wink. Average training's green. That's an improvement. So we'll get 1 more turn until we get the better citadel, and then we'll look into some things. At least our economy's booming. So that's something at least. Oh, we got the radio direction finder. That was worth it. Alright, so these Jaeger should be finished pretty soon. Three more months. Okay. Let's see if there's any more technologies I really need to cram onto the Marauders. I think we're good. Double turrets on light cruisers, baby. That's where it's at, right there. That's what we need. Excuse me a minute. My nose has been all sniffly. Hope I'm not coming down sick. That suck. Don't care about submarine improvements or any of that stuff.
Well, my God, he survived Thanksgiving.
Hey, how you doing? I got a lot busier than I thought on my server deployment, and then I was just so fatigued afterwards, and then I was going to get on last night, but by the time everything got, I had to go up to Oklahoma City and rescue Mike because his car broke down at his other job, and then I had to deal with one of my friends who wasn't feeling that well, and then I almost got into a constitutional altercation with some crackheads who tried to sneak up on me while I was gassing up my car. But after reaching into my car and making a constitutional argument towards them, they decided that they would be crackheads somewhere else. And plus I've been coming down a little bit sick, so I've been just sleeping a lot.
Well, you saw the one DM I sent you there.
Yeah.
Kind of had a similar time the past week or so.
It's a weird time of year.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so here we go. We got the Marauder, and we're going to convert you to full oil burners now. What the fuck? Oh, come on, really? Really? Fucking really? What? Because these are Mark IIIs, and now they're really big and boxy and suddenly got huge. Alright, well, so we're going to go oil. This makes me super efficient. Geared turbines. Get all this shit going here. Corrupt 3. Got the hydro. Coincidence 4. Radio direction finder. So what I probably need to do is, instead of this barbette, I need to probably put on a bigger barbette. Probably like that. Let's see, these are just double guns. There we go. So that fixes that. Oh, it's gonna be a big ass refit time. I could go triple barrels if I wanted to. How would that affect the weight? Actually, I could do it. All right, so we're gonna go triple barrels, because for triple the fun. Do you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yep, nice and relaxed.
Right on.
Fixed up a little bit of a Thanksgiving dinner for self and mom there.
Right on. Let's see, what do we have here for... what's my... flash 28%. Alright, so this is... flash fire's 15% on that. If I go here, it's bigger. I can go tube powder. which would really reduce my flash fire explosion chance, which I think I might do. Even that's going to lower my gun range, which I'm not super happy about. It's less damage also. That's more penetration. We're going to go cordite and really go big. Go better barbettes. I could also switch a lot of these I could switch a lot of these double guns to triples and then speed up the... Alright, let's go. We're gonna... Damn it. Oh, it's still double, I still only have double barrels for secondaries, huh? Okay. Alright, that's fine. If that's what we got, then that's what we got. And I can't put anything on top. Well, I guess we're going to make this thing go faster then. It's already a 7-month refit. Or I could start beefing up range. Range might be what I want to do, actually. Now the range only affects the missions when you're in port, though, right? Or does that affect missions when you're out on patrol as well?
Like, I think, you know, it affects it in both cases. It has, as far as like getting encounters with like convoys and all like that, is the range, speed, and like, you know, the recon and like that. I forget what it is that, you know, the major factors are, but I think, you know, range and speed would, you know, is one of the deciding factors right there.
Yeah.
If you're just talking where you got them setting in port, you got them like on in being or sea control, then yeah, I think, you know, the range definitely does have an effect on if you have any missions that pop up.
Because what right now, we've got a 37 kilometer range, 2.9 accuracy at 10,000 meters. I mean, Dunite does more penetration, more damage. And we could do that. And tube powder. Oh, up to 67%. We don't want that. If we do something like this, that lowers their range by quite a bit. Um, 29 kilometers. That makes a big difference on the flash fire chance going TNT2 versus Dunite. I think we're going to go for the low chance there. Oh, I have double hull also. Shit. It's going to add a lot of... Let's go drop these down. 13 inches. I'm not going to be able to... I'm going to have to drop the range a little bit more than I wanted to. Alright, so the aft weight offset.
You could also drop the armor on the tops of the turrets as well.
Yeah, do I have... oh, that's right. Here, we'll do that. Oh, now I have lots of... You have the 9% flash fire chance. That's good. We'll go cap ballistic 2. Let's go anti-torpedo 2. Now that raises my pitch a little bit. I've got a lot of... I could try jacking up the speed. Oh, nope. 27.6. Nope. 27.5 is kind of the hard wall. We don't go faster than that, it seems. I could try going Citadel 3. I think Citadel 2 is probably fine. If I go Citadel 3... well, that's not bad. 14.5-inch belt. Use the 4-inch guns here. Go drop their top armor. Actually, I think I'm going to go barbette on these. Okay, so I need to make more forward. I guess I'll go 14-inch belt. There we go, perfect. Let me do something like that. The pitch is a little bit more than I'd like, but all in all, this is pretty awesome. I've massively upgraded the firepower. I think this is as good as we're going to get. Okay. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to refit one of these. That's going to put us over our tonnage, probably. Maybe not. No, probably not. We should be fine. And then we'll have to refit the Jaegers after they're sorted out. Yeah, I ended up sleeping a lot today. I went to bed early, took a nap. Woke up, and now I guess I'll be up for a little while.
Yeah, that happened to me Sunday night. I fell asleep around about 7 o'clock for like about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get back to sleep till like about freaking 4:30 in the morning.
It happens. There we go, baby. Double turrets on light cruisers. I should have sold them the Lorenzo destroyers, but there we go. Transport capacity is at max, so now I can drop you guys down. Toss the rest into crew. There we go. This is pretty nice. Still trying to piss off somebody to get into a fight. But that's okay. This gives me time to refit my fleet and get everybody all happy. Oh, you know what I could do? Is I could upgrade... I could try and upgrade some of my other ships while I'm thinking about it. Because I could convert everybody to full oil. Let's see what my research is going to be like. Is there anything good coming up? Not in 7 months. Depth charges, but I don't care about that. Special machinery, electrical steering, don't care about that. So I'm basically in good shape to upgrade some of these guys. Let's see what the Lorenzo has again. I know I recently upgraded them. But they're semi-oil. So I could go full oil. $13,000-kilometer range, a 15,000-kilometer range. Coincidence 4, hydro, radio direction finder. Mine hunter, nope, no room for that. Yeah, so I could... Yeah, that's all just trying to shift the weight forward. Can I get more range out of you guys? No, maybe. Maybe. I'd like to have depth charges for against submarines, but my ASW is already decent enough. So I don't think I need to worry about that. I guess this is all right. Yeah, there's just no way to square that circle, is there? This makes it as balanced as I can. It's a 1 month refit. I'm not sure if it's... Well, it gives them the radio direction finder, which will help them with intercepting things, so that makes a big difference. And then on the ASW front, 38.57. Yeah, so it helps with anti-submarine also. Yeah, so we'll do this. I'd like to get more range, but this will be alright. Alright, fuck it, we'll do this. Unless there's a... Yeah. I could try and tweak the balance a little bit more, but I think this is probably as good as we're going to get it. What I ought to do is when the Lorenzos were ready, I should refit all of them at once. That's probably what I should have done. The Jaegers will be ready in 1 turn. What about... What about these patrol ships? I think I'm just going to go 1 more turn before I do anything, actually. I'm going to refit at least a couple of Lorenzos. And probably refit one of the patrol boats also, actually. Oh, this might get all jacked up. Because of the... Yeah, it worked. Alright. There we go. Oil. Gear turbines. Since 4. What's my flash fire? It's not very high. There's a 2-month refit to do all that. I don't know if I can get any bigger on the front gun. I think it'll just cause trouble. I don't have a mount for that. Let's go make these longer. Alright, there we go. I might as well just cheese these out also. Alright, so that has same fire arc regardless. I don't think I could fit a 6-inch gun here. Really don't. Alright, that's okay. So this is... With the 9-inch, if I try to make it bigger, it gets mad. So we're going to leave that alone. Alright, so we have the biggest guns I can squeeze on this thing. What about range? Can I do anything about the range? Can I make your range a little bit better? I could do better with range. Look at that. 23.2. The problem is I don't have a lot of leeway on my forward weight offset is really bad. Yuck. So basically I can do this. And it's got a little bit of a forward offset. This will mess with... This might just be the best I can do. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I hate having a little 0.2%, but I can go cap 2. And I think this is as good as we're going to get it. It's a 1-month refit. Good enough. Good enough. And sometimes good enough is perfect. So, get one of these guys going.
That's something I wish the U.S. Navy would learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching a text video earlier while I was taking a nap. We were talking about the Warhammer, really great mech. And they're talking about how in a world of everybody trying to optimize and make these super specialized mechs, they just made this good enough general mech, and it was good enough, and that made it perfect. I thought to myself, yep, that's about right. Alright, so one more month, and then we can go refit the Jaegers, and then we'll do a massive refit thing. I'll probably play the French next. I'm trying to figure out how I want to be silly with the French. I have no idea what I'd name their ships. I was thinking of naming it after French food, but I don't like any French food really. I guess crepes, but... There we go. Let's see if China will go to war with us. Why no! They're going to give us a trivial amount of money. You bastards. Let's see if we can piss off the Soviets. And now that we have our Jaegers built, do I have to wait till they're commissioned to refit them, or can I refit them from now? Do you...
Be honest, don't really know. I don't think I've ever tried that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, there's... A lot of them are...
I mean, yeah.
Mothballed.
They usually don't show up in your active fleet until they finish commissioning, so if I had to wager a guess, I would say not, But then again, I've never tried it, so.
Alright, well, let's see what happens. Because I have all these Jaegers now, and well, 20 of them. Mr. Speed Demon ship with its, how fast are these things going? .32 knots. Alright, so let's go to full oil. And can I take off one of these? Oh, I can take off several of these. No, I can't. Standard funnel. Let's go put you back there. If I go induced, I could do induced, and that would save. So that's 9,800 tons, or 10,000. It might be better for me to go, and I think induced is going to be a lot less smoke interference and a lot less engine vibration. So we'll do that. Then we can go radio direction finder. flash fire chance is fine. What I'd like to do is I would really like to give you double gun turrets. So, Mr. 6.9, have double 6.9s. Look at that. Oh yeah, you know what's better than single-barreled 6.9? Double-barreled 6.9s.
Also the same for Saint 2.9.
Yeah. The only problem with the double-barreled Saint 2.9 is they get a lot bigger.
Yeah, interfere with the funnels.
But we can do that. And probably these I could turn into doubles. Yeah, we could do that. Now these I don't think I could fit a double on here. I think that's gonna be tricksy. Let's see here. I got all of the goodies. It would be... I mean, I might be able to take you guys off and put a... No, it's... So that's just not gonna work. I can, however, beef up the range to maximum range, which would be very nice. And I think I can start adjusting the draft. But if I start adjusting the draft, then I start lowering engine efficiency. Maybe I leave that alone. I think we're going to leave the draft alone for now. And if I were to take you off, no, that won't work at all. If I take you guys off, because I don't think if I take one of these off, I don't think there's enough room for me to squeeze a double turret on here. So realistically, half belt, no. There we go. Perfect. So that worked out really nicely. But now we need to add armor. I made it a 3-month refit. And I don't know how to squeeze more stuff on here. I guess I could start putting some main deck armor to try and stabilize you. That's actually making quite a nice difference in the stability. Look at that. We got the stability really nice. We get some conning tower. We'll just max out the conning tower. And we still have tonnage to spare. And I don't really want any more guns. I've got enough guns on this thing. I know that's blasphemy, but I've got enough guns. And it's perfectly balanced. So I guess I'll start putting in inner belt. And go 3 inches of inner belt. Oh, we can't. That lowers the stability a little bit. This is just about as good as we can. Oh, I can go Citadel 3. That would be a big no, that's not going to work, is it? No, it will not. Alright, so Citadel 2 it is. Yeah, we better go Citadel 2. This is probably as good as we're going to make it. I mean, it's a little bit under tonnaged, but I don't want to really shift around the ammunition type that much. I think we're going to leave well enough alone, and then we can tweak it on the next rebuild. Alright, so this will be 3 turns to refit this. We're going to refit one of these. How come there's only 10 of them available for refit? Is it because you're still trying to commission the rest? That's a little weird. Because the others are still commissioning. Oh. Alright, so you can't... I see how it is. You can't refit till they're commissioned. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. So we're going to take this opportunity. Hey, Turpits. Why are you suggesting emojis, YouTube? Fuck emojis. I don't want emojis. How do I get rid of emojis? No, whatever you're trying to do, YouTube, I don't want anything of it. Your emojis are gay. Go away. I don't want any of you...
Emojis for like the YouTube side chat there.
There we go. Yeah, YouTube was trying to get me to do emojis. Like, no, I don't want emojis. Yeah, what are you trying to petition the government about, Turpits? I'm not really an expert on such things. I try to have as little interaction with the government as possible, if I'm being honest.
If you're petitioning them, they try to get them to do their job. Good luck. We've been trying for 250 years.
Yeah. Alright, so I can do probably... Let's start with like 150 of these and see if that will get these guys going. The nice thing about these destroyers being so small is I can refit a lot of them. I could probably refit another 40 of them. $155. Let's do that chunk. I wanted to petition Oregon State government about getting rid of Executive Order 25-09, which bans cell phones on school campuses during school hours. I mean, realistically, that should be a school thing. Now, like, if I were a teacher, I wouldn't let students have their cell phones out. You know, when I was in school, we didn't even have cell phones. You know, back then, they made us put our pagers away. But I can promise you that they're not going to let you do that. Now, realistically, if I were a parent, I would want my child to have their cell phone in class so that if there was a problem, I could be like, hey, there's a problem, you need to whatever. But typically, the parent would contact the school, and the school would contact the kid. At least that's how they did it when I was growing up.
I could see having the requirement, like you said, it should be a call on part of the school to have during class have them turned off and put away,
or at least on silent. But
yeah,
then again, a lot of the kids are probably doing shenanigans with their cell phones. That's probably why. That's probably why it's a problem.
Yeah, but banning the cell phones altogether.
That's a little bit too. Yeah, that's not the government's job. So what I would do is this. I would make a First Amendment argument, because you have a freedom of speech, and your ability to communicate is that freedom of speech. And so your cell phone is an extension of your freedom of speech. So I would make a First Amendment argument.
You could also make a public safety argument from the standpoint of, God forbid, like a
school shooter, and you had to have an announcement.
Yes. I was going to try to be a little more YouTube friendly and say like a unauthorized pew scenario, but yeah, basically what you said.
Yeah, I mean, realistically though, I mean, I think it should be up to the school's discretion how they want to do it. Let's see.
Yeah, I could see restrictions on when and where on campus you're allowed to use them, but saying you cannot even have them on you when you're on school property, no. You know, that's
yeah, because I'm
saying that's
and it should be school policy. I mean, so like, yeah, you could say it has to, you know, like the school could say they have to be on now the school could ban you from having cell phones, but the government's not allowed to. My understanding is that the government's not really supposed to be doing stuff that interferes with your freedom of speech. On the other hand, you're also a minor, and so that might be a little bit tricky there.
Yeah, I seem to remember a couple of instances of like First First Amendment issues or like petitions or court cases to where a lot of times the court said, well, if you're not yet of legal, adult legal age and you're still a minor, then you really don't have the full First Amendment rights yet.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you're sort of in a weird limbo state where you're still sort of subject to the will of your parents, essentially. Now, your parents could make a freedom of speech argument. The problem is going to be specifically like they don't want you playing video games on your cell phone and stuff like that during class. So I mean, it would depend on how you wanted to word it, and now I know when I was growing up in New York, the reason they didn't want pagers is because drug dealers were using pagers to coordinate, drug dealer stuff, and that was the issue of the day. There we go. That gets that tweaked out.
And speaking about the minor aspect of it, as far as age, that's another thought that might have better luck, that Turpitz could go ahead and write it up and get it worded correctly, and then see if it have like association of group of the local parents, such that would actually present the case.
Because the reality is nobody cares what children think. The government doesn't care, because children can't vote. They only care what voters think to the extent that that they're dependent on the voters for.
Oh, I would agree with you, Turpitz, on that. What you're saying about how it was last year. No phones in the classroom. They're allowed during lunch and periods in between classes.
Yeah.
Such as that. I was saying, totally agree with you. Completely banning them on school property is no.
Now the other way you could do it is you could have your phone with you on school property, and when you get in trouble, take him to court and file a First Amendment lawsuit. So instead of a petition, you could file a First Amendment lawsuit, but I think you have to be egreged first before that flies. But I'm not. So this would be lawyer questions. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an asshole. So.
Basically the same here.
Yeah, I'm an unlicensed asshole. Let me delete that one.
Well, would spending 20 years in the Navy make me a licensed asshole?
I'm not sure. So the patrol ships, these guys are 1 month, and all right, let's see let's see here. Yeah, I mean it's you'd have to talk to a lawyer about how to do it, and I'm not. I'm not exactly sure how you would go about it.
You might want to check too if you can do Google search or like that to see if there's already any other groups in the state that are already filing, a similar petition or lawsuit there. See, maybe coordinate with them.
Yeah.
The more, to where we could get enough people together to where we could make it a class action lawsuit.
But the reality is that you're going to have people over 18 doing it. Um, just because children have limited rights, is my understanding. And then it also comes down to why they don't want you to have your. I mean, because, like, leaving your cell phone in your locker is not unreasonable, or just having it put away. I mean, the reality, though, is that, frankly, most kids out there are dipshits, and they're probably just causing a lot of trouble for the teachers, who are also probably dipshits. And so, as a intelligent, responsible person, you're getting caught up in a conflict between two groups of dipshits. 20, 30, 40, 55. Let's see if that's enough. So that's really kind of where you're running into the trouble, I think. Or as a wise man once said, it's not illegal if you don't get caught.
Way that's one of the reasons why I still use an old-fashioned flip phone.
Yeah,
very easy to keep it hidden someplace. It's like in your front pocket.
Yeah, a car thief once told me it's not illegal to steal a car, it's illegal to get caught stealing a car. He
to sum it all up,
spent a lot of time in jail.
Yeah. In the immortal words of George Carlin, cop didn't see it, I didn't do it.
That's right.
And there's a few groundhogs that can attest to that.
Yeah. Let's increase more tension. What is my unrush? A little bit higher than I want it to be. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to use the little Admiral's room. And I will be right back, and then we will figure out how you can screw over the school system. Give me a bit. decided to make a little bit of food. So here's a couple other things to consider, Turpits. You can... one option is don't worry about it because you're, what, like 16, 17 years old? You'll be out of high school soon, and then it won't matter. That's one option. Another option is get a tablet with a SIM card and claim it's not a cell phone. You get a laptop with a SIM card, claim it's not a cell phone. Leave the cell phone in your backpack, have it tied to your Apple Watch, and claim it's not a cell phone. You could find loopholes if you really wanted to. I'm not suggesting you do any of these things. Because from a practical standpoint, what the fuck are you supposed to do with your cell phone? You're not going to leave it sitting outside. You could put it, are you not allowed to put it in your locker or something? Let's see, general. Let's see what you said here. It's a few months old here. What is this? Let's go pull this out. And today, Governor Tina Kotek signed an executive order. Is your governor seriously named Tina? Alright, whatever. Executive order which aims to improve student educational outcomes and mental well-being across the state by prohibiting cell phone use by students during school day during Oregon Public Schools. Model policies in place would be made available. Oregon schools should be in a place where students find belonging, support. That sounds like a bunch of liberal bullshit. I mean, school is basically a prison for kids because your parents are busy at work. The joy of learning. There's no... Yeah. Research is clear that... Hey, Vorgath. Yeah, cell phones could create a trifecta of consequences. Yeah, I mean, that is true. I mean, cell phones in the classroom basically ruin learning. So does a whole lot of other things. So... Now, I know what I would do if I were in your shoes. But they, like I said, they didn't have cell phones when I was a kid.
Now, the way I'm reading that, she's leaving some latitude.
So, like, you could have the cell phone on in your backpack turned on, on silent, to check, like, text messages or emergency things. But,
Yeah, it sounds like, Executive Order is leaving some latitude to the schools to decide how they want to try, what type of policy they want to implement general requirements. It might be just your particular school district or particular school has decided to just ban them all together there.
Yeah.
Because it said, required to adopt, it basically said up top, said model policies for schools that already have prohibitions in place will be made available, as well as flexibility in implementation. So she's basically, sounds like she's allowing some latitude to where the main thrust of the deal is you're not using the cell phones in class. Where, like you said, the way it was before, during lunch and periods in between classes or during some type of recess or like that, it basically sounds like she's leaving it open as far as, like, each school system for how they want to implement it and interpret it. This might be your particular district or particular school has decided to go go overboard and just try to ban cell phones altogether.
Yeah. I mean, if they take your phone, that's theft of property. They would have to give you back your phone after class. And if they don't, then that's theft, and you could sue them. Now, the problem is Oregon's a really stupid state, and most court systems are really fucked up. And like I said, nobody gives a shit about kids. Politicians absolutely don't give a shit about kids. They say they do, but what they really mean is they want the votes of the parents. But as far as like what the kids want, nobody gives a shit. So, you could just not get caught, which is what most people probably do. I can get better cruiser hulls in about another month. Let's see, what's the 12,000 ton light cruiser. Yeah, so but yeah, that's essentially the problem that you're facing, is that just nobody cares about kids or what kids think.
Except when it's politically expedient.
Yeah, unless it's something beneficial to them. So, let's see here. So as far as the patrol ships go, these are about 5,000 tons apiece. I could, and I've got 114, so that's going to be, 500,000 tons. So I could refit all these in a couple of turns. So it's probably not worth me pushing overboard on $187. So I probably don't need to just overdo it on these. Yeah, so so they do have to give it back to you. The reality is this: public schools are basically a prison to, put kids in so that their parents can work, so that both parents can work. You would have to. You could go to a school board meeting, but unless you have, like, you by yourself, they're not going to give a shit because you're a kid. Even a single parent by themselves, they probably wouldn't care. You would need, massive protests from all the kids, or get all the parents on board.
Yeah, you need a significant number of parents to start filing complaints with the school board or that particular school, depending on who is the authority in charge of implementing that policy at your school.
Yeah. Now, the reality is the school is correct that phones during class time is a distraction, and, like, if I were... There's a couple of problems. So, first off, if I were a parent... if I were a parent, I wouldn't send my kid to public school. That's the first thing. So social media for kids is absolutely toxic and awful for them, much like social media for adults is largely toxic and awful for them too. So there's absolutely no way in hell I would let my kid be on social media at all. Certainly not unsupervised. Yeah, you could probably try and just... now if you want to do this just to be a pain in the school's ass, I would say go for it. Because being a pain in the ass is one of your duties as a child. At least that was my attitude when I was a child. Much to the regret of my parents. And I'm sure my... my parents once cursed me and said, "May your children be as difficult as you were." So... So there is that. Let's see.
Well, let me ask
20.
this. What, basically, from what I'm seeing, you're typing in chat and the way that executive order read, basically, as long as you kept basically, as long as you kept the phone in your backpack, he said if they saw or heard your phone, they would take it away. So would it be, so basically you wouldn't be in trouble if you just kept it like turned off or in airplane mode where it just vibrate and kept it out of sight in your backpack. Would they have a problem with that, with you having it with you?
And then you could go outside the school during your lunch break to go check your messages. Because I think mostly they just want to keep the kids from being distracting in class and keep you off of social media. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
A bit off topic, but speaking of phones, I learned firsthand what Bob does to
Oh my god, so I did the most awful thing to Vorgath the other day.
Well, okay, it was my fault. I turned off identification.
So I see this foreign phone number calling my my cell phone, and it shows up as like scam likely. And so anyway, and so I was in the back of the store, so I turn on my air compressor, I answer the phone, put it on speaker, and put it next to the air compressor and walk off. And so there it is, just doing the air compressor thing, and then eventually when the air compressor filled up all the way, the noise stopped, right? Because it paused when it filled up all the way, and then I heard Vorgath on speaker, so I ran over the phone and apologized to him. I thought it was going to be like some guy from...
I still haven't turned on my identification on my phone.
But we have a game at work to see who can do the most awful thing to telemarketers. So like I'll often answer the phone pretending to be a prostitution complaint hotline.
I was just calling Bob because I was concerned I hadn't heard from him.
You know, one of my friends will answer the phone pretending to be an abortion clinic in Delhi. So, you know, we just make it a point of being as awful as possible to telemarketers. I don't care about triple barrels on secondaries for light cruisers. Oh, that's only for capital ships anyways. So let's go and take Mr. Jaeger. And let's see if we can tweak him just a little bit more. Hello, Mr. Jaeger.
Well, my solution to telemarketers and real estate developers and all like that is, if I look at my phone and I don't recognize it, it's not someone on my contact list, or I don't recognize the area code or the number, it's like I let it go to voicemail. If it's somebody that's honestly want to get a hold of me, they'll leave a message. If all they do is hang up and go away, okay, yeah, it was probably a scam phone call or a telemarketer. So, you know, no pain, no loss, you know.
Yeah, so I mean...
But then I'm not running a business with a business number, so... Yeah,
oh no, this is my personal phone, or is my personal phone that Vorgath called. Then again, on the business phone, if we see telemarketer scam likely on our caller ID, we're still pretty awful. I'm almost tempted not to, because I mean this ups the range, you know, to 15,000. Otherwise, it's like 10,000. I'm tempted just to leave it alone, do the 1 month refit. Because the extra draft will... less stable, but is more resistant against flooding and carrying more load. But then it makes it a 2-month refit, and then there's some aft weight concerns. .96, 0.97, 0.98. So I could do 0.98. Engine efficiency is down a little bit. I'm not sure if that matters that much. There's the aft weight offset, so we would have to do something like that. Although this doesn't really add any benefit on... I mean, I gain a little bit of extra. All it's really doing is giving me some flooding resistance. Oh, and it'll make me more resistant to sea waves and problems, right? If I go enhanced reloading, that slows down the aiming speed. And we're going to have big recoil, and I don't really want the big recoil. So that's probably fine. .1, does that... No. Oops. 32.5. So we could... 90% efficiency is not awful. Although probably just leaving it to 32 knots, because that's already really fucking fast. And if we go with forced boilers, then that would be way... Unless I take you off. No, that's no good. Because that's still... I think we're going to stick with the induced boilers. You know, I think for right now, I think I'm just going to... I'm not really sure if it's worth all the... all the effort here. I mean, 98% efficiency is still pretty good. And I can always tweak it out later. I'm gonna go cap ballistic on the secondaries. We get a lot of overpens, unfortunately, with Well, this'll mess up destroyers pretty good. How do I... I could shift the weight a little bit more. Oh, you know what we could do? We could go Citadel 3. Boom, like that. And... we do something like that, and I need to shift weight forward just a little bit. So this gun here, we're going to do that. And there we go, perfect. It's 3 months. But this'll be fine. Yeah, all right. We're gonna go refit one of these guys. Listen to what? Jaeger 3, let's go refit one of you guys. And let me go check on my food real quick, so I'll be right back. I'm back. Just need a little bit more time. Battleship 14-inch hits, torpedo boat, 136,000 damage. That's adorable. I love it. Let's go refit the rest of these patrol ships also. Alright, so we get all the patrol ships refitted. I could maybe start trying to refit some Guardians. That might be the next thing to think about doing. I don't know if I have enough tonnage. We'll see. I think I do. Yeah, I got plenty of tonnage. So, we have these Guardians. These are 1910. So we could... let's go view this guy. Don't feel bad for the Austro-Hungarians. They know what they did. Alright, so as far as this guy goes, we are going to make... I'm just going to beef all of these things up. And go full oil. Gear turbines. And get all this stuff going. And these are what, 9.9, so let's go take you off. We're gonna do triple barreled 9.9s. Now, I think there was a problem with the gun length. You know, there isn't. Okay. Let's go make these guys all longer. And then we want, yeah, we got the better armor. We got the Citadel 3. Cat Ballistic 2. I'm gonna go 2 powder. I mean, I could do cordite. That's... let's see here. And this is... now that makes these guys really resilient. I mean, granted, I'm probably not going to have any Citadel hits. So we could go cordite. 26 is a little high, but it's not awful. I would like to go faster. Can I go 25 knots? No. 24.2. That makes, alright, so... what might be the smarter idea would be to take all these guys, these 4.9s, and... do I not have triple barrel yet? I thought I had triple barrel for secondaries. That's fine. I think I needed that next turn. So let's see here. We could go, if I cheese this out a little bit. Let's see, 24.5. 25 knots. There we go. So 25 knots is alright. I don't think I can get any more range out of you. No, not really. But that's okay. These guys don't need a really big range. 25 knots is fine for what they're doing. Go 25.1. Nope. 25 it is. Alright, that's good enough. And everything's balanced. And alright, so I think this is about as good as we're going to get it. 4-month refit. If I went with, let's see, that's shell weight. That will add shell weight. And that'll add a lot more. We're going to leave it on TNT for now. I think that'll be fine. Alright, so let me check on my food real quick. Hold on. Now it is ready. So we'll go refit one of these, and we'll start putting these into production here. So you have 9 ships, you're using 5 battleships, 4 light cruisers, you're fighting the entire fleet. Well, is your tech a lot better, or are they just, is the AI being stupid? What's causing your victory? Holy crap, I got a lot of money. I wish I could spend more than, more on tech or something, but I just can't. So I guess I'm... Yeah, one more turn on the turrets, that's what it is. Alright, well. Go piss off China.
Damn it, whoever this is who has GM control of the guild just popped up once every 3 months to maintain the leadership. I was not able to grab it back this time.
Do you know who it is?
I have no clue.
Did they respond to a message?
Nah.
It could be just somebody's alt who hates us and they're just trolling us.
But they're not doing anything to it. They just changed the icon and basically that's it.
Did they change the icon again, the tabard again, or they just leave it alone?
No, just they haven't changed it since the first time.
Weird. All right. I don't know what to say. I mean, it sucks, but not much we can do. I guess I could call Sybil and ask her if she knows who has control over the guild right now. I mean, if it's Sybil or Contessa, then we're fine. I just don't. I don't know. Did we finish building the... Did the Marauders finish? Let's see. Let's see, so... Well, the Marauder finished, so we can go do another upgrade on the Marauder and add triple secondaries, although that might add a lot of weight, which I may not have. Alright, let's go check out the Marauders. Just kind of casually preparing for war. I don't really have the means to do... I don't really have the means to change these to triple gun turrets. I don't have the weight. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone, because these guys are already super awesome. And then we'll just start refitting these guys. Alright, go Marauder production run. How many of these do we have? We have 15. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I could do 4, 5, 6, 7. I could definitely do 7 at a time, probably 8. So it's just going to be faster for me just to do half and half. Alright, well, there we go. Sure. Oh, the Soviets bought us off also. And my unrest is getting high enough, I really don't want to push it much further. There aren't really any third-party countries I can intimidate. I mean, I guess I could try to park some ships off of Canada, because they're not allied with me anymore. Traitors. Brazil. No, Brazil's still my ally. Alright, we're just gonna hang out and get these ships upgraded. Try and let the unrest go down a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have submarine? Can I build submarines now? That might be what I do. Maybe I build submarines and just have them do unrestricted warfare and piss off people. That might be what I have to do. It's never a war crime the first time. We're going to do that. Why are these 5 months? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is it suddenly 5 months? Did I refit the wrong Marauders? I hope not. So I'm over tonnaged. Alright. We will suspend one of the Marauders. Where are you at? There we go. So we got negative 29, negative 69. I guess we'll keep increasing tension with China, though, at least. Let's see if the Soviets go down anymore. Yeah, so, alright, so it's a little bit. Build more shipyard, thank you, boop. Yeah, I mean, it really is a war crime the first time. Sometimes a bad idea is just a bad idea. Okay, so let's unsuspend this one. Alright, so we have all the patrol ships that can be refitted have been refitted. We have to make one more iteration of the Jaeger. Alright, it's a 2-month refit because it's gotten big. Yeah. Alright. So we're going to refit all of these Jaegers. And then we're going to start parking you guys in conspicuous places. These light cruisers are almost as big as my Guardians. Guardian finished refitting, so we can get him ready. Let's go take care of this guy. Actually, how long was the previous refit on the Guardian? It's even worth doing this. Four months, yeah, definitely worth doing it. And I guess there's not really anything I can do there. I mean, these things are solid. Alright, let's start making Guardians. And we'll start putting yeah, I mean, it depends on how many ships you kill. I mean, you can get a bunch of victory points from a battle. But I think over time, it's just killing all the transports over time that gets you a lot of the victory points. Ooh, you know what? I can't refit any of these Guardians yet because I don't have the tonnage for it. So let's keep pissing off China. Super heavy shells. Very sexy. Too bad I don't have those yet. I mean, I guess I have them now. I don't have them on my ships. I don't want to go through all the refitting trouble to do them. Double turrets on destroyers. Wow. Alright, so we'll just refit all of these Guardians now. Because my unrest is getting way too high. I do not want to do that many. Let's see if that'll do it. Or if it miscalculated. It likes to miscalculate a lot. Looks like we're good. I could probably even do one more. And then it's time to deploy the Jaegers. Yeah, I don't know how many victory points you're going to get for sinking 50 ships. I mean, you'll get quite a bit. I don't think it'll be like millions of victory points, though. Alright, so... let's figure out where my little Jaegers are. I should have some... we're going to cheat and look on the ship list where my Jaegers are, because I don't remember. I thought they were in the Philippines. So we got Pearl Harbor, Santa Cruz, Pearl Harbor. So Santa Cruz and Pearl Harbor. All right. So here in Pearl Harbor, we have 10 Jaegers and 25 destroyers. How many destroyers do I have? I've got a lot of destroyers. So I could send 10 destroyers out with a Jaeger. But I don't know where all my destroyers are. They're probably scattered all over the place. Hey, Slav. How have you been? Mediterranean and Scapa Flow. So I've got these guys just all over the place. So what I could do I would send like a Jaeger out with 8 guys. Submarine up there. Alright, so for example, we're going to take you. I'm going to move you up there. We're going to send a Jaeger. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be fantastic. And then, because the Soviets don't have anything here, we will send another Jaeger off here. Alright, hey Slav, welcome to Discord. How you doing? I'm going to leave those alone, actually. And then Santa Cruz, I've got over here. I'm going to send... one Jaeger. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the problem with this plan is I don't have enough tonnage Alright, so we're going to send 2 Jaegers in a group. And that way I've got enough tonnage I can initiate stuff. Yeah, we're going to 2 and 10. Alright, so back to Pearl Harbor. I'll send one of those guys there. And then I will send one of you guys there. Alright. 121,000 victory points. That's good. That's really solid. Good job. Good job, Slav. Or good job, Turpitz. Alright, where do I have more destroyers? I've got some destroyers in Scapa Flow, right? I've got 50 destroyers here. So I'm going to send you guys up there. Alright, so this should cause them some trouble. Hopefully it will, at least. And increase tension with China, because I really want to take these schmucks out. You guys where are we gonna put you guys? I'm gonna put you guys somewhere over here. Let's do that. And then the rest of these guys we're going to send to the Philippines for now. Alright, what other refits do we have? Refit the last guy there. Delete those. Alright, we got all our ships refitted. We don't have any submarines that we can build. Just kind of let it go. having a hell of a time getting into a fight with these guys. I think you guys I want to send to... I want to send over here, actually. Yeah, well, if I can get to where I can build some subs, then I'll start just unrestricted warfaring these guys to start a war. I really don't want to spend on social needs. That's... Then again, I could, because I have so much fucking money. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. Advanced structural steel... Yeah, because we basically have this game won. I just have to get into a damn fight. And that's the problem. I could just park a couple of... Oh, you know, I made a mistake. Alright, so we're going to take 2 Jaegers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put some guys there. Some guys there. Alright, so that will put people in each of the major zones to cause trouble. So we'll just let this roll. Yeah, submarines aren't really all that good unless they're going up against unprepared fleets. Yeah, let's go piss them off some more. No, we don't need more cruisers. What we really need is to go to war with China. And then I need guess these Jaegers we can leave up there. We'll send 2 destroyers for each of the Marauders, just to help with recon. I mean, I guess I could always put some Marauders with the Jaeger fleets. There we go. Please go to war. Alright, so we're going to not worry about turret mechanisms. We're going to start developing, we're going to mass develop submarines so we can use them to piss off other nations. That's what we're going to try and do. Because at this point we're going to spend years just trying to get into a fight. Yes, we'll retaliate against Canada. I don't know why Canada attacked us, but that's okay. We need...
It was a revenge for blowing out my ears with the air compressor.
Alright, so we need 89,000 tons. So you guys are going to come back to Canada. And then, do we even have any ships here? I got 3 battleships and 12 destroyers. That doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, I have marauders. Well. Welp. That will be sufficient. Alright, so we'll send you guys up there. That'll take care of that. Meanwhile, let us continue to piss off the Chinese. Do we have any... So we've got these ports right here. So this is Labrador Sea, and that's that's Eastern North America. So let's have you guys go down here. And have you guys go here. And this one lone torpedo boat, you're going to journey over to Russia, and you're just going to hang over there. Alright, I will be right back. I'm going to grab a Coke. See you guys in a minute. Alright. Here we go. Triple bottom hull, very nice. Sure, we will sell Brazil some Jaegers, because at this point we don't need to build ships anymore. We have all the ships that we need for a while. And I guess we'll irritate the Soviets. Sure, Greece, we will sell you a Jaeger. I've spent years and years trying to get into another war. And that was really irritating. Before long, it'll be time for me to upgrade ships again. We're going to capture Canada soon. At least Western Canada. Problem is, it's Eastern Canada that really needs to be conquered. There we go! There we go! We got ourselves a fight! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Well, so much for pissing off the Chinese, because now the Chinese are going to really like us. Sure, we'll sell you guys some of those also. Alright, so we finally have ourselves a fight worth having. The question is, who do we want to schmack first? Probably northern Russia, so we just block off this whole area here. So let's go send the invasion fleet. Go send the Guardian ships. Send the patrol ships. And then 2 torpedo boats for scouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we have a lot of... So instead of sending the torpedo boats for scouts, we're going to send 2 destroyers for scouts. So that'll take care of that. What is that? That is a heavy cruiser, so let's try to intercept you. These guys don't have any real ships up here. You guys need to help deal with... Oh, it's a fucking battleship. How big of a battleship is that, actually? 27,000-ton battleship. That's not... How many... I only have 4 battleships.
That sounds like early Dreadnought there.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of assault ships, which could probably take out the battleship. My guys are kind of small. But it is a battleship that's by itself. So... and each of my assault ships has a 13-inch gun. So I could... if it's unescorted, I could probably take it out. These cruisers... I'm going to be there. Alright, so we are going to take... 2 Marauders and 2 Destroyers. We're going to go after you. And then, what's this down here? You are also a cruiser. You guys should be able to take care of him. And then these other guys... do I have any... here, I got stuff here. What do we have here? I've got some Marauders. Oh, I've got stuff in here. Okay, I've got lots of stuff in here. So let's go send 2 of the Marauders up this way. How many Destroyers do I have here? I have 30. Okay, so we're going to send 2 Marauders and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Destroyers. And then we'll send...
Sounds like a nice torpedo conga line.
yeah, and then we'll send these 2 Marauders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. We'll send you guys there. The rest of you guys will hang out. And then these 2 guys... I really need to go pursue that bigger fleet. Like that. I don't have anybody down here. Well, that's Chinese. All the communists look the same. Do I have... I got these guys here. So we're gonna blockade... I'm gonna blockade that. And this is a Marauder group with Jaegers. Alright, you guys are just gonna start fucking shit up. That's what we're gonna do. Do we have any Soviets down there? No, we don't. Alright, so... oh, that's probably more than we How many ships do I have down here? I got 15. We're going to run 3 groups. So, Marauders, you're going to go there with 2 destroyers. Six, 7. Send you guys there. And send you guys there. 7 cruisers, and that's a big fucking fleet. I think my Marauders need to go over there, actually. You guys, in fact, need to go here. And that's where you need to go. Alright, so that takes care of that. And then these cruisers here, they could probably just tie them up for a bit. I have a whole lot of stuff in this area. I've got these 3 battleships. So you guys, you're going to try to intercept them. And where do I have... It says I have 3 battleships, but I don't know. Oh, here we go. What do we have here? We have some Guardians and a bunch of patrol boats and destroyers. Alright, well, let's go deploy you guys as a fleet. And there's submarines up there. Okay, that's probably too much. Do that. And then these guys are going to head up this way. And then my torpedo boats start sending torpedo boats out to go wreck your economy, because that's what bad people do. Okay, so that should be mostly that. Alright, here we go. I have a lot of meetings. Looks like it's a very busy work day here. Boop. Alright, here we go. We got this guy. Destroyed Alexander. He's got 4 twin 12.8. This guy's actually a dreadnought. He's a small dreadnought. This might actually be a little tricky. Alright, so so the torpedo boats are going to retreat. So these guys are all on follow. What I would much rather do is group all of you up. And then have Alright, here we go. This should get everything sorted out. And then we just have to face forward towards the enemy. I'm not quite sure how this is all a little bit tangled up, but whatever. Let's see what this guy looks like. He is a Dreadnought. Wow, look at, he's got 3 guns forward. That's interesting. What kind of armor? 22 knots. He has pretty good armor. Pretty respectable armor. Many bulkheads. Trained crew. He's got a lot of secondary. This is a pretty... That's a pretty chunky ship. This might actually be a problem. Actually, I should come around behind him instead. Because he's weak in the back. With only the 1 gun in the rear. That is a lot of fire coming at me. Wow. Look at all that crap getting thrown at me. Hopefully my armor can hold up, because my armor is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. Because these are really invasion ships. But he is by himself. So the plan is if I can pull up behind him, and then I should win in the brawl. There we go, there's a flooding hit. Yeah, there we go. So if I can come up behind him, it'll be a little harder for him to hit me. There's another flood. Let's keep angled. Another flood. All right. Soon we're going to be in 2.9 range. Then they'll just start really lighting him up. Because his rear armor is weak, I think. Yeah, his rear armor is very weak. There you go, another flooding hit. I think we're still flooding the same rear compartment over and over again. Our penetration's pretty good at this range. Now the problem is, now we're going to be given some broadside. But we're behind him, so we should start really lighting him up now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're in the brawl. Saint 2.9 is going to lay into him. Actually, the 13s have been doing most of the work. He's in a lot of trouble now. Yeah, the 13s have been doing their job. 2.9's catching up though. Yeah. Now we're in the close brawl. Meanwhile, from his yeah, there we go. There we go. That worked. Alright, so the assault ships assaulted. Had like 14 to 1 odds, but still. If you find yourself in a fair fight, you're doing it wrong. Alright, let's go sink this guy. We have these two light cruisers. Let's see how well these light cruisers do. This should be interesting because these guys are fast. All those smokestacks. Alright, so you guys group in behind the light cruiser. Turn off the torpedoes. Tiny dog, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is it, baby girl? Do you want to go outside? Is that... Are you trying to go outside? What do you want? I'm about to start a fight. I am. I'm about to start a fight. This is not snuggle time. Snuggle time is in between fights. Do you need to go outside? You were asleep just a minute ago. I have a little bit of dog aggro. I have a very tiny amount of dog aggro. Tiny dog. Let's go. Let's go outside. Come on, go. Go. Go outside. I'll let you out. I'll be right back. Come on. Alrighty, let's go do this. Radio direction finders are working nicely. Here we are cruising along a little over 31 knots. 31.3, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. He's gonna be like, what the hell? Look at all these smokes. This is like totally like a drag racer ship. Let's see what the Soviet cruiser has on him. That's a nice cruiser, like a Cruiser 3 or something. Many bulkheads, got solid armor. About 4-kilometer torpedoes. 8-inch guns, 5-inch guns. That's a solid all-around solid okay cruiser. Alright, let's go kick his ass. I actually don't even need to get that close. I can stay kind of at a distance like that, because all of my guys have armor piercing on our main guns if we can. Oh, what's the range of my torpedoes? I forgot. 6 kilometers. I mean, I could. We'll just go auto again. There we go. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, this Jaeger squadron is going to be great. 2 Jaegers and a bunch of destroyers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. Well, let's go do this again. Turn off the torpedoes again. And I've got the radio direction finder, so I don't even need to do the anti-retreat trick anymore. Everybody gets in line. We'll make a little conga line of death. And here we go. It's going to be another one of those same... yeah, it's another one of the same Soviet cruisers. Let's just keep our distance a little bit. Ouch. Well, that hurt. Surprised it didn't kill anybody. Now that we're getting into the brawl. I want to stay far enough away that we don't have his torpedoes to deal with. There we go. Very solid. I think my recon is high enough with these Jaeger squadrons that they can't get away at this point. That we're going to engage them when we're so fast. This is going to be perfect for hunting down just like lone cruisers and stuff. I don't even need to do the anti-retreat tricks. I've got the range radio direction finder now, so we're just gonna easy mode this. Another one of those Soviet cruisers. That was a good hit. There we go. Get wrecked, buddy. Get wrecked. Yeah, this guy's just so on fire. Yeah, this is a really good hunter group. Because just all that extra fire from the destroyers. Yeah, I mean, that's... Against a lone ship, they're just screwed. They can't get away. I guess my marauders get to have some fun now. Alright, here we go. Now, realistically, these Marauders have a really light main gun armament for their size. And they're not light, but they're lighter. And their secondary armament's really nice. Well, I mean, they got basically 14-inch guns. But I think, like, a typical... They got 9 14-inch guns, and a typical battleship this era would have about 10 of them. Yeah, so it's alright. Here, we're gonna... Look at that rear turret able to swing full 360. Isn't that so sexy? Great for maneuver warfare. I don't have to wait for the rear turret to swing around. Lost a secondary gun, though. Which one was it? Oh, it's one of the 3.9. That sucks. But it's okay. I'm taking a little bit of damage. I mean, I'll rip them apart in the process. Took a little bit of a beating. 11 guys. I mean, still not bad. Alright, here's gonna be a bigger fight. Alright, let's hope we don't screw this up. So I think for this one, we're going to try and keep our distance a little bit. And pick off the smaller ships first. I mean, I'll keep the main guns. We'll see. We'll see what we can catch. I think that you guys, we're going to keep this in sort of a battle line. Let's be off-center just a little bit. Alright, so we want to keep our distance. Now you've got 12.8. You've got... Is it 4 double 12.8s? You got 8 of these things, and I got 9. I have 18, so I got 2 turrets. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our distance out here. We're not going to hit anything at this range. So I've got 6%, he's got a 1%. Ooh, there we go, there's a hit. Let's keep the main guns at you. secondaries at you. Actually, I want all your guns at him. And all your guns at him. Let's see what these destroyers have. I bet they have good torpedoes. They do have good torpedoes, don't they? They have 5-kilometer torpedoes. Really? We're gonna turn. I'm gonna turn this way because I want to not deal with the destroyer's torpedoes so much.
I would not be happy about that.
Alright, let's... Actually, let's see if we just fire everything at you and maybe we can get a hit. Alright, we need to... Alright, this is going to be a little bit of a problem, because that battleship is awfully close. And I am not super heavily armed, or armored. But he does not have torpedoes. So we can lean into him a bit. And we're just going to burn his ass down. I am amazed that you have not sunk yet, sir. Very impressive. There we go. I would like to fire secondary guns at you guys if I could, please. What was that? Sound like a torpedo hit, but that wasn't a torpedo hit. Alright, so that destroyer's just about dead. He's gotta sink soon. Got to do a sharp turn in case he launched before he died. I don't think he did, but just in case. All right, this will be another successful battle. These Marauders are pretty solid. Their secondary armament's great. I got a couple of light cruisers strapped to the side. Alright, there we go. Yay for our side. We got another meeting? Wow. This is a very busy turn. All right. Main target's the destroyer, and then once we take out the destroyer, we can start kind of moving in. Because the destroyer has scary torpedoes. Alright. I want to keep a little bit of an angle. So ideally, if the heavy cruiser's out front, I want to be able to swing around behind the light cruiser or behind the destroyer. But that is not the case. The heavy cruiser's there. Which way are you going? You're going that way. This guy, he is a little more squishy, so we're going to go for you first. And what's your torpedo range, sir? 4 kilometers. Same as you. 4 kilometers. Alright. Oh, there is this guy. Well, that was a torpedo detonation. That was very nice. So that was a good... He still has some left. Oh, wow. Wow, holy crap, that destroyer just got in the wrong spot. That was definitely a wrong spot. it would be really nice if you would turn, please. Alright. So these guys do not turn great. They are super duper fast, but they are not very turny, are they? Not so much. But that's alright. Alright, so we got him. Now we just need to take out the heavy cruiser. But the main thing with these guys is they are fast. And I lost a gun. I'm just gonna cruise on up behind you. And light you on fire. All of you will be on fire. The 6-inch guns are outperforming the 2.9s. Alright. Oh, I might be a little too close. Well, not much I can do about it now. Just keep firing, assholes. There we go. That got him. Of course we're going to fight to the end. You guys are going to run away. Thank you. Alright, well. That 11,000 victory points right off the bat. That worked pretty well. I lost a lot of ships. Yes, we will do that. Alright, so first off, you guys, oof. That was brutal. So this we need 48,000 tons, so let's send you guys to take care of that. Oh, because these guys are in tight with Mexico also, so we're gonna have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. I'm gonna keep pissing off the Chinese. Maybe I can get them to go to war with me too, and we'll just wrap that up. Alright, I am going to call it a night because it is almost 2 in the morning and I'm tired and I have to work. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Vorgath, Mitchell, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, have a good night.
I don't know what time I'm going to be on tomorrow, sometime in the evening probably. I've got a little bit of a complicated day. I've got to take Tiny Dog to the vet and get her blood work done, because her surgery is the following day, I believe. So, next couple of days are going to be a little bit weird for me, but I'll try and be on in the evenings. Maybe for some Mech Warrior. Oh, look at that! The Greek fleet's coming out to help. Right on, right on. Alright, good night, everyone.
Okay, good night.
Good night.